first kiss of springtime, it makes the lonely winter seem long. You are the breathless hush of evening that trembles on the brink of a lovely song. You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine. Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm so glad, Steven. Oh my gosh, R2. Oh. If people don't quit teasing me about Jazzy. What do you think? New angle. We can change angles to cut it out, you guys. Oh my gosh, everybody's saying the J word like it's going out of style. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for watching my J-word video this week. Hello, Caracas. Serious? You going to Ronnie Scott's tonight? That's amazing. Oh, let's see. I'll just respond to a few of these. Roni, thank you so much for telling me you like Charlie's voice. That's so nice. I like his voice too. Yeah. Hello, Beirut. Tony Atkinson, nice to see you. Do I know the song Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea? Yeah, I do know that song. That's a great song. I learned that song when I was a kid. Hey, Rob Arujo is in the room. Nice to see you, Rob. I learned Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea from a recording I had when I was a teenager of Buddy Rich, the Buddy Rich big band playing that. I think he actually sang on that song. That's where I learned that. Hi, Keith. Nice to see you. Hello, Jay June. Ethan, I'm fine. How are you guys? I feel a little funny not looking at you right now and just having it on the keys, but a lot of people always say they wish that the camera was pointed at the keys, and I try not to take that personally. But, yeah, anyway, we pointed at the keys today. Oh, 1M1A was at my gig last night, and you are welcome for playing your request. It was nice to see you. I was playing All the Things You Are, and I was playing it in the key that I sing it in, which is E flat, which makes the first chord a C minor chord. Usually it's in A flat, which makes the first chord an F minor chord. But you guys know the video where I was talking about when I used to listen to Marianne McPartland when I was a kid, or a teenager. And then I talked about how I got to go see her at one of her gigs at Birdland when I lived in New York back in like 2000. What she did in the middle of her concert, I remember she opened up her second set by playing All the Things You Are, and she played it very classically like this. And I loved it. It was so nice. Of course, she didn't sing, you know, so she probably did something like this. Something like that, with like an Alberti bass pattern that would come back every now and then. But I do remember some really nice give and take between her right hand and left hand, like she would do little scales with her left hand and things. No, it's not a full-sized grand. It's a baby grand. It's a 5.3. And yeah, you can see my brand, Hallett Davis and Company. I think it's a really nice, affordable piano, and I love. No, Moise, I can't do 2 cameras yet. I'm just not smart enough. I don't know how to work it out. I need somebody to come over here and teach me how to do that. It's a nice lower price option, and I love the action. I don't know if you can see. It's really easy action, which I love. And I think a nice combination between a good dark tone and a good bright tone. I feel like I get all the richness out of it that I want to, especially for its size, and then all the crispness that I want to. I suppose that, if I had a Yamaha or a Steinway or something, I wouldn't turn it down. But for me, this is great. Anyway, I really like that. All the Things You Are, like Marion McPartland played it. I think it sounds great in a classical kind of style, don't you? Sometimes you can just be really creative with how you do it, and you don't have to do this thing. You can break it up over 2 hands. Action is a guitar term. Yeah, it is, but also these keys, they extend into the piano, right? And then the wood hops up and the hammer pops up and hits the string. It's all, a big process. And oftentimes it's harder to press keys on pianos than other pianos, right? So when I'm talking about in piano, we're talking about hammer action. I'm basically talking about how hard it is to press down the keys, or how easy it is. And these are pretty easy to press down. I play on a Kauai at my gig that I played on last night, and I have to stretch my fingers quite a bit and do like this kind of a stretch after my stride pieces, because my hands just hurt from pressing those keys for so long. But my piano, hardly ever. It's really easy. There you go, David O'Brien. Hey, John just got home. He hasn't been moderating for me because he was out picking up Ella. Yeah. No, I'm not calling you. I just said your name on my live video. I said that Dad was out picking you up. All right. So, yeah, I'll take some more questions. And sorry, the whole family's in the room. You think your Kauai is quite heavy action? Yeah, it is pretty heavy action. Can I make a video about singing technique? No, I can't. I'm not a voice coach. I'm no good at that stuff, you guys. I don't know if you know that. I mean, I know, what I know from the voice lessons that I have taken, but I am no vocal coach. I'm not a vocal coach. Everyone who always asks me about vocal coaching, I refer to my friend Sarah Lieb. She has a YouTube channel called Singing TV, and it's wonderful. Maybe I'll go back on this after I'm done with it and put a link up to Sarah's channel. But Sarah knows everything about the human voice, and she'll teach it to you like a master. Every time I have a question, I go to Sarah's videos. Now, am I able to play the guitar while skateboarding is a wonderful question. The answer is I'm too scared to try. I'm not a good enough skateboarder to ever try that. I guess I'm good enough to hold my phone on a camera, but I figure a phone could handle a fall much better than a guitar could. Oh yeah, John is here now. Everybody say hello to John. And he wrote down Sarah Lieb's name for you guys. Sarah Lieb. I think John could probably type it again. Oh, thanks, Bill. That's nice of you to say you like my speaking voice. I remember when I was a kid and I heard my speaking voice for the first time, I absolutely hated it. I think we're all in that boat together, right? I don't know, you guys. I'm having a hard time with the camera on my hands. I feel a little bit weird. You guys like that for today? Let's take a quick vote. How do you get your teacher to teach you jazz? You get a new teacher. Your teacher probably doesn't know how to teach you jazz. Oh, there was a question if I snowboard or not. I don't. I've never tried because every time I ski, which is like once a year, I like to have fun instead of learn something new. So I ski. So I love to ski and then I just love to surf and skateboard too. You like the hands on the keys? Okay. Alan Wheeler. We'll just stick with that then. I'm gonna move this just a tiny bit though because it's to my side and I'm having to twist to see it. Oh good, I'm glad you like the good. Everybody likes the hands on keys. I'm glad. That's good. It's fine with me. Aimee the hand model. That's right. When I started saying the J word, it made you think jazz was conscious breaking the rules. And oh, I'm not sure what you mean by that, David O'Brien, but I hope you all know that my J word video was, tongue in cheek. I would never actually get mad at somebody for saying it. Just, I do always cringe a little bit and just wish that someone could tell the general public that that word is, it's not a great word. So anyway, I told the general public in my way. Yeah, and then I actually did copy I copied the font from the L word. Ryan, good, you noticed that. Just because I always wonder, I'm trying to put more text in my thumbnails now, and when I was wondering what might look good, I thought of that. And I was also tongue-in-cheek, like, talking about terms like that we, need to use carefully. Do I like classical music? Yes, I do like classical music. I studied classical music from the ages of 5 to 15. Hi, Rick. Rick's here, everybody. If you don't subscribe to Rick's channel, please do that. Rick, anybody have any questions for Rick? I mean, I know that's not why he's in here. He's probably mad at me for saying so. Do you think there's a snobbishness among classical pianists with relation to jazz? Yeah. Yeah, I do in some cases. I felt that in college a lot. No, Rick Beato, you're the best. Everybody say hey to Rick. And no, I don't gent, but Rick does. A snobbishness. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to tell you about when I went to college. So my experience in college was that I got there and you had to take look at my visuals, 4 semesters of the music theory core. So you had to take music theory, dictation, sight singing, and keyboard harmony. I tested out of my dictation class and my psych classes and my sight singing classes. I just went to the tests. That's all I did. Those were easy for me, and they were difficult for the classical students. This is where I learned that there might be some kind of a difference between the two groups of people, Now, not all classical students. Some of them had an easier time. And I almost tested out of my music theory classes, but I didn't quite know enough. This is where the classical people, in some sense, had an edge on me, but not much of one, because they hadn't done much thinking about theory. Most of them, they had only done their playing. They learned their. Let me show you my. Let me think. Oh no, it's up a little higher. Look, I learned a Mozart concerto when I was 13. That one. And you can tell my technique's really nice when I play it. I have a lot of sensitivity, everything like that. But most people, if they were to learn that Mozart concerto, they wouldn't even know it's in the key of F. And I learned that when I went to college. I got into my music theory classes, and people wouldn't even know, let alone to know that this is a C7 chord in first inversion, which I knew. I knew that. But the thing that I didn't know, yes, it was Mozart, that's right, number 19 in F major, I believe. What I didn't know was the name of it, right? So I knew that this is a C major chord, and this is a C major chord in the first inversion, and this is in the second inversion, but I didn't know that the classical people called this a C, and then they called this a 1-6, right? If it's a 1, they call it a 6 because of this interval, and then they call this a 4-3, right? So, no, a 6-4, sorry. I'm still not very good at that. I had to kind of train myself to remember all of those classical terms, and I've never used them again once I left. So, right, so this is a 6-5, is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, did Mozart do anything jazzy? Oh, not so much, I don't think. But anyway, I knew those things, you know. I just had to learn what they were called, which is why I had to go to theory class. I knew what a lot of things were, I just didn't know what they were called. For instance, Italian sixth chords, German sixth chords, French sixth chords. I had different names for all of those things, minor 7 flat 5s, and anyway, I just kind of had to train my brain to go, okay, an Italian sixth chord is really what I would think of as this, and yeah. Anyway, then the place where I really, really had a hard time in college was music history, because they didn't just let you take normal English classes. You had to take music writing classes about music history. And John's smiling because he remembers trying to help me with those papers. Anyway, I remember a whole paper we had to write it was a huge essay. It was like half our grade, and it was program notes. They gave you a piece, and you had to write the program notes for it. Now, as a jazz musician, I had never heard of program notes in my life. I didn't know what they were. All of the kids in the class started applauding when the teacher said, we're going to take, this piece and write program notes to it. They all started clapping. Yeah, Rick says it sounds cool to him. That's because he grew up going to, orchestral concerts and things, but I did not. I never heard of it. So it was a cool assignment. I just didn't know what to do. I'd never seen program notes before. So it was a definite disadvantage for me not having grown up in a, classical world. Are program notes liner notes? Well, apparently it's what is written on the program when you go to hear an orchestra or an opera, and it tells you, about the composition, about the composer's life up till then, or whatever. How the piece came to be. It explores the different sections of the music, tells you the feel and I don't know, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I didn't know how to write about it, and I think I probably got a C- in that class. I didn't do very well. Luckily, I had the A's from my music core classes to pull up my GPA, keep my little scholarship. I know you're missing out on my facial expressions, but people have voted. The people have voted to keep the keys in the shot. Yeah, I totally passed. And totally kept my scholarship, too, which was important. It's okay, Rick. I can live with that C-. But the classical musicians weren't paying as much attention to the theory as I was. So there are advantages to both, and I'll tell you what I couldn't quite do was, you're right, C-, Rick Beato, thank you. What I couldn't do as well as some of them was sight read. So I remember in our form and analysis class, oftentimes we'd be handed a piece of music, and the instructor would say, is there anybody that can sight read this for us? And some whippersnapper girl would always raise her hand and go up and just, she'd just whip it out. Never saw it before she could sight read like a maniac. And I thought, I would always almost raise my hand, at least at the beginning, because I knew I could sight read it, but when I heard that girl do it, I went, ooh, I'm glad I didn't raise my hand, because I wasn't nearly as adept as she was at that kind of thing. Her name was not Aimee Rick Beato. Quit making wisecracks. Do I think there's a difference between a piece of music composed by a male composer and by a female composer? Absolutely not. I think that's just a no. But anyway, sight reading, that's where classical people usually have a leg up on the jazz people. And that's why it's a big reason I don't like to teach kids at least these days, I like to teach adults because typically they've got an understanding of how to read music and how to play their scales, their fingerings. I don't have to go over those basics with them because they already have some kind of an understanding of it. And I think the classical side of things is really important for that, let alone technique, you know. Everybody's got their own, but it is important to learn some technique, and I typically don't go over those things in my lessons. Anyway, should I take a request? And take a drink of water? How about a style like Jerry Lee Lewis? Rick wants me to look at the camera. Let's see. There's a lot of requests. John's probably writing them down. Do you see any kind of consensus, John? Not really, huh? I don't see one either. Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. We can, you know, I can make a video sometime on how to play like Jerry Lee Lewis. But I don't know if now's the time for that. Leo, oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys about this guy named Leo Brody. You see him? This guy sent me 25 cents this morning because he told me he said the J word and he was putting 25 cents in the jar. And he wasn't just kidding. He actually put 25 cents into my PayPal account. What a joker. I can't even believe that. John, do you want to pick from the requests?
I mean, there's been 3 for Moon River. That's the one.
There have been 3 for Moon River? I like to play Moon River. Let's do that. Oh, Karen asked me to teach about sharps and flats. You know, I am going to make a video about that very soon, I think this week, about how to spell chords and scales. Very low, can you? Moon river wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows and waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, Moon River. Song. I'll always play that one. I do like to go to a pedal at the end, and then this is a voicing that I'll always come back to. Thank you, Keith. yeah, if anybody asks a question that somebody else knows I've covered in a video, that would be awesome if you just say, hey, Dave, she covered it in a video. And if you're not sure if I've covered something in a video, just type it into the keywords in a Google search, you know, Aimee Nolte, rootless voicings, Aimee Nolte, major scales, something like that. It'll come up. Anyway, the song is Moon River, Jamie. And here's a voicing, right? I like this voicing. I double the fifth, which is a little strange, but I really like the way this sounds in the middle. And the reason I double the fifth is because it's that pedal kind of sound that gives some motion and some power as I come around the end of the video. We're F, D minor, D minor 7 with the 7 on the bottom. The same, we've got a B half diminished, and then an E altered chord. Rainbows, and this is where I do it. It's an F chord with a C on the bottom. Waiting round the bend. And I just tend to keep these here because I think it sounds really nice. And you might hit them now and then. Pretty much got any notes that are in the key of F at your disposal. You can play any of them. I can't quite keep it. Right? You just give a little bit of dissonance and you can play any of them. I like that. Can I please play Más que Nada? I don't know if I can. I know that tune, but I don't know if I've ever played it. Something like that. I like that tune. Who do we have playing that? I have Al Jarreau singing that, and Sergio Mendes, I think. Yeah, we've got a couple of recordings of Más que Nada. I like that.
Somebody said Steely Dan, Walter Becker.
Somebody said Steely Dan. I was messing with Josie this week a little bit. Josie, is that right? I can't remember. Oh. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I remember how to do it. When Josie comes home, we're gonna break out the motor scooters when Josie comes home to stay. I can't remember what these chords are. I can't remember what they are. Such cool chords though. You can find them in iReal B. That's where I was messing around with it in the iReal Pro book. All kinds of neat chords, but I can't remember what they are. Anyway, I love that tune, and I love Steely Dan, and I'm very sad about Walter Becker's passing. It's so many hard weeks lately, right? Like hard months. All of our heroes passing away. And what is it? It's not even our grandparents' generation, John. It's our parents' generation. All the baby boomers, right? Michael Jackson and Prince. Walter Becker. I mean, it's also some of our generation, isn't it? With Chris Cornell. But I mean, you kind of expect for the older people Yet, I mean, let's hold on to the ones we've got, right? Somebody just mentioned Chick Corea. He's 75. We've got him. Yeah, David Bowie. No, I'm not a baby boomer. Are you kidding me? I'm a Gen X. Gen Xer. And we've got Stevie Wonder. I saw somebody put a post on Twitter. Can we just wrap Stevie in bubble wrap and like save him? Like from everything forever? Yeah, you're right. Don't jinx it. Man. Yeah, I know who Joey Alexander is. He's amazing. Everybody should check him out if you haven't yet. But yeah, Joey Alexander, you know, he's going to be around a while. I'll quit saying it. I'm not going to jinx stuff. Yeah, we've got Santana. We've got Tony Bennett. That's right. Leo Brody would like me to play an original. I would like to, I think, end my broadcast pretty quickly. I've got a rehearsal to go to. Oh, I love the Return to Forever band, Lance, and the recordings. Yeah, man. Let's wrap. That's the main point we take from today. If anybody knows Stevie Wonder, let's wrap him in bubble wrap. Oh, hey, Seuss, you'd like me to talk about the Barry Harris diminished sixth scale. Oh, my gosh. Let's do it for a second. Any votes for that? I mean, I don't want to make a whole video about it because Barry Harris makes videos about his own diminished sixth scale. And, gosh, you know, he can teach you about it. Yes, you guys would like that. All right. I'll show you what I've been messing around with it. And it's a good thing I've got it on the keys. All right, so let's take, oh, I don't know, let's take F major. There's our tones in F major, right? Barry Harris, what he does is add a diminished sixth to the scale. Can we sing it? La da 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 da. Nope, we missed it. Let's try it again. La da da. Let me point. Da 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 da. It doesn't sound that foreign to our ears. I mean, I think we hear that sometimes in people's solos. Right? What he does is he says that out of these notes, you can build these triads. So if you take those notes, you have to remember what they are. They're all of these notes, right? We're basically leaving out a B. This is in the key of F. We're leaving out that. We're leaving out these two. Then you can make a major sixth chord out of these notes, okay? Then the next thing you do is you play the next notes in the scales that you can play in the scale. So the next notes are here and here, right? And here, and then this one goes to here, and it's a diminished chord. Does that make sense? These notes are in the scale. The next notes that are in the scale, if I raise the E, is an F. If I raise the diminished sixth, it is just the 6. If I raise this, it becomes the 5. If I raise this one, it becomes 3. And look at that. What we've done is play the exact same thing, but in an inversion. So if you can guess, let me move my camera. The next thing we're going to do is play the exact same thing that we just played, but in its next inversion, here. So from here, you raise everything one of those scale tones, and you get to there. You raise them again, and you get to there. You raise them again, and you get to there. And here, and here. So, and then you're back. So every single one of those permutations is either the F major 6 chord or a G diminished chord, or B flat or D flat or whatever. Does that make sense? So then the next question becomes, well, the thing that you need to, to do is to get fast at it. And then also the thing that you need to do is to spread it out. So you take this voice and you drop it. That's called a drop 2 voicing. It's a wonderful sound. And then you need to get fast at moving just the same way you moved from here to here, taking that C, putting it on the bottom, and moving to the next place, which is there. Does that make sense? And to the next place, which is there. And the next place, which is there. Like that. Can I not be boring and just understand that everything has its basis in mathematics? Yeah, thanks. I'll try my hardest to not be boring and to wrap my brain around that. Thank you for your suggestion. So then the next thing we need to do, oh, you were responding. Okay, Trevor, I forgive you. Okay. Trevor, who has the dog as his, what do you call it? Profile picture. I'm not mad at you, Trevor. Yeah, so it is. It's a lot of math, and it's a lot of, just using your brain. But now what we've got to do is to find a song that we can implement this on. So the way that you do that, and this is, thank you, Gene. I'm excited. He's the best dog in the world. Is you need to find a place in a song that sits on an F major chord for a long time, pretty much. That's it. So here's one. Someday when I'm awfully low, or that sits right in the key of F major for a long time. So we can do this. We can go someday. Then check this out. I gotta move my camera a little bit. So we can go when I'm awfully low, like that. Do you see that? And use those Barry Harris chords, but we drop our voice. Right, so instead of doing this, we do this. And then it doesn't work as we get into the G minor chord. When the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. You can use it there. There's some places that you can use it, and that's the thing I'm trying to wrap my head around as far as all of this Barry Harris diminished sixth stuff goes. Where can I use it? So a lot of times when I sit down to practice, I actually do think of, I just try to think of as many songs as I can where I can use that. Yeah, it's a great sound, absolutely great sound, but you can't, you have to be careful where you use it. Anyway, somebody wrote to me last week and told me that they actually go to Barry Harris's workshops. I forget what night of the week they are. Like every Tuesday night they go at like 11 at night or something and stay till something crazy like 4 in the morning, and he teaches these workshops weekly in New York. I can't believe that. Isn't that cool? If you guys are in that area of the world, you should check it out for sure. Let's do one more song. And Leo has been asking for an original, and my mom is on here now, and she has asked for my original called Young Again, which is timely. Because, what's today, the 10th? I think today's the 10th. It's the 9th? Yeah, because I wrote that song about my little brother who died in a car crash, and that was September 11th, 2001. So that's kind of crazy, right? You guys know September 11th, 2001, our family had its own thing we were going through. And yeah, my mom's in here. And it's okay. It was a long time ago, and, I miss him and think of him all the time and everything. But now that 16 years have passed, mostly I just try to remember the nice, fun times we had together, and that is what this song is about. Yeah, he was 17, Matthias, car accident. And no seatbelt, which is the only reason that he didn't make it. So, thanks, everybody. Seatbelts, everybody. The person that was driving had a seatbelt on, and my brother didn't have his seatbelt on, and the person that was driving just got a few bruises. And so, yeah, wear your seatbelts. Mom, we were trying to think of a tribute, for Scott on this anniversary of his death. We should tell people to wear their dang seatbelts. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my mom and I had a deal when seatbelts became a law in California, and anytime either one of us caught the other one without our seatbelts on, we owed the other one a quarter, or a nickel, right, Mom? A nickel. So we'd be like, you owe me 30 cents. Now you owe me 35 cents. And it taught me early on. So I will play that song, and it's in the key of A, which is bright to me. The key of A is very bright to me, which is why I wrote it in that key. And let me adjust my camera again. And it took me several years to, we'll wrap Stevie in bubble wrap and always wear your seatbelt. Sarah, alert. You nailed it. You just pinpointed everything we need to know from today. The song is called Young Again, and it's from my album called Just Us, which isn't available in print, like on a CD form anymore, but you can get it on iTunes and Spotify. And I think that's about all you can get of my hands with this camera I have. Well, maybe a little more. Try a little more. I see you in my dreams. You take my hand, and then it's not likely as it seems. We are young again. Race me down to the playground. Watch me swing on the bars. We can sleep in the backyard, try to count the falling stars. Are you even beside me? And are you real as you seem? I reach out to touch you, then I wake up from this dream. Driving in my car, the lights are blazing past. Though you are never far, those days are fading fast. Days when we ran. Let's see. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, I forget. Days when we ran through the meadow, and times when we laughed till we cried, when I didn't have to be fast asleep to have you by my side. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It was a really, really nice time. I'll flip my camera around and say goodbye to you real quick. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.